thanks so much for doing this interview with me. As we speak, where are you in the world today, right now?
I am in my bedroom.
In what part of the
Thank
country?
you for having me.
What part of the country?
Oh. Ontario. So Keswick, Ontario, just
Kiswick.
an hour north of Toronto. Yeah.
Okay, did you guys get hit as we speak? Did you guys get hit with the snowstorm that we in Toronto got?
Yes.
Because before we did this interview, I had to spend about an hour or so shoveling, going, where am I going to put the snow? I mean, I have nowhere
I
else to put
know.
it. I'm getting suitcases out and putting the snow in that, and put it in the back seat of the car because I got nowhere to put the snow.
Yeah.
Is it pretty
That's
bad up
too
for you
funny.
guys?
Yeah, we got a ton of snow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
100%. It's
well,
pretty
I
bad.
I feel for you guys, so I hope you can dig out. But in the meantime, as we try to warm up, your music is doing that. Congratulations on the new single that we're going to talk about. But I really want to talk a lot about your
Thank
career,
you.
though, and the love of country
Hmm.
music and where that started. Where did that start for you?
Well, actually, um, when I discovered Taylor Swift, she kind of like introduced me to the country world. So her song Tim McGraw, looked up Tim McGraw. So that's kind of where I learned about country music, fell in love with Shania Twain, etc.
Wow. Now you
Yeah.
talked about two biggies though. Um, but we could all say that, this artist influenced us and that artist influenced us. But when it comes to
Mhm.
talent, there has to be something else. When did you start discovering that you did have the talent to be able to, vocally and to write music and things like that?
Well, I've always really been obsessed with music. It kind of all started when I was like 8 or 9. My friend um, was trying to convince me to go to a choir class with her, and I had never sung since. I mean, like up until then. But I
Mhm.
was like, I really don't want to go. That sounds embarrassing and uncomfortable. But I'm glad that she convinced me because I ended up going and loving it. I fell in love with singing there and always took every opportunity I could around my town to perform since then. So,
But what about writing though? Were you one of those people that were writing? Listen to me, one of those people. God, I can get myself in trouble.
oh,
Um, Individuals. Did you like write poetry or anything like that, or did you have like a diary that you like to write in that somehow
yeah.
eventually turned into lyrics for songs?
Actually, yeah, I was like always writing like growing up, like little short stories and poetry, etc. And when I started learning guitar, I turned them into songs
Why guitar?
because of Taylor Swift, probably.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be the Taylor Swift interview. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, so here we go. We got all that, but at what point did you really know that yes, you could do this and yes, this is the career choice? Was there an event or was there a contest or anything like that that finally convinced you I need to go
Hmm.
through this full throttle?
I don't know if I could chalk it up to one moment specifically. Like every time I performed, I grew more and more in love with it all. So, yeah.
Then what would you say would be your favorite performance that you've done so far?
Oh gosh, probably the Magna Hoedown Showdown in Aurora. The crowd was just awesome and it was electric. It was amazing.
Now you've been around and you've shared the stage with some great artists. Who have they been over the last little while?
Yeah, in 2015, I got to open for the James Barker Band at Kempenfest in Barrie, so that was pretty awesome.
When you are getting a chance to meet these artists, and because we've got great Canadian artists, do you ever get a chance, or have you ever gotten a chance to talk to any of them to get some advice? And if so, what's the best advice that you've gotten so far?
From an artist. Oh gosh, I don't know. Uh, had
Because
the pleasure of.
I've been backstage, so I know all the ins and outs and what's going on and everybody yapping away, especially when it comes to Canadian country artists. Because really, it's like one big family.
Oh, 100%. Everyone's amazing in the Canadian country music industry, like 100%. And I've had the pleasure of writing and just hanging out with a lot of artists. And just the main thing is just the support we have all for each other. So
Like I said, to me, it's almost like it's this bubble that's just waiting to explode. Because every time I turn around, there's a great new artist like yourself right in there with all of these established great Canadian artists. And then, of course, you've got the godfathers and godmothers of Canadian country music, and they're still going too. It's an amazing thing.
yeah.
Who would you say has been your favorite though artist, Canadian artist that you ran into that growing up you never thought you'd ever get a chance to meet, and then you're sitting there sharing a beer or whatever else with them?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Um,
Giving her a chance to
that's a
think.
hard question.
Giving her a chance to think.
um, Maybe Aaron Pritchett. There's been
Oh,
like so many though. Like like that's so hard.
yeah, and you
He's
know what?
great.
He is. He's an amazing artist, and
Yeah.
I love the fact that you had to think about it because it would probably that's probably an unfair question for me to ask because there are so many great Canadian
Yeah.
artists that you run into. So I'll apologize about that, but I'm not going to apologize about getting into this new single. Before we say the name of it though, how did this song start to form? Like where did it all begin to where it finally got to the point in being released in the people that you worked with and things like that?
Okay, so it's taken quite a journey, this song. I started writing it when I was in high school, and it was originally completely different than how it turned out to be. I started writing it about a girl that was bullying me in high school. And so that was just the first few lines. A few years later, I just didn't touch it since. I took it to a co-write with Mark Reinken and Al Rowe. And then we just turned it into the silly, like high-spirited song it is now, which is awesome.
You know, and again, I don't want to say the name of it.
Yeah.
Listening to it though, that's serious country. Like you guys went into like they say there's new country, this that. If I can
Hmm.
describe this song, it's a new song with a real old school country feel to it.
Yeah, that was the point there. Yeah, that's what we are going for.
Why did you decide to go down that route? Do you know?
I don't know. I think I love that sound so much, and I haven't done a single that kind of sounds that way yet. It's been more pop infused, and this song just felt right to do that.
Well, it definitely does because, like I said, it's an amazing single. So, as I like to
Thank
do it
you.
at this point, let's make it official. What is the name of the new single, and what is it about, please?
It is called No Complaints. It's basically like an anthem for the daydreamers out there. So just all the things you'd have no complaints about.
Now, you kind of mentioned about the bully part. I mean, I'm just curious. Has the bully ever heard, do you know if the bully ever heard this song or has even contacted you back to say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry for what I did?
Not yet. I'm not expecting it, but that's cool.
You know what? It's funny how you can turn, like I said, a bad situation into something good. When you had a chance to record this song, though, was it during COVID? And if so, what were the difficulties in being able to record this? Because even though things as we speak are opening up now, like the past 2 3 years, 1 minute it's open, 1 minute it's not. Yeah, you're allowed to be in studio. No, you're not allowed to be in studio. I got to record at
Mhm.
home. I can be over here. Okay, I can be in studio, but you're only allowed so many people.
Yes.
Like I could keep waving those. I love the way one
Yeah.
of your eyes just went down. Like, yeah, it really.
Well, you're so right. It's been so difficult to keep going, but like my music video has been postponed like 3 times. So, but thankfully, when we were recording the song, it was actually the summer, like last summer, and it was in a moment where things were lifted and we're good to go. So,
Fantastic. And of course, you had the energy behind that and everything else too. Now, when you have a great single like this, are there other singles to follow? And will there be an EP or album coming up with this?
yes, I will be releasing 2 more singles and an EP at the end of the year.
Fantastic. Now,
Mhm.
we are going slowly. I think as we speak, I think we're like what 5 weeks away from spring, I do believe, as we speak.
Already?
Yeah,
Yay!
time is flying. I know. We just talked about snow, and now we're
I
talking
know.
about, flowers and bumblebees and butterflies. Does that mean, though, that when things are going to get warmer, do we know yet if you're going to be able to tour, do some shows, or are we going to do maybe virtual shows? What are the thoughts for the rest of 2022?
I am hoping and praying that I can do some live shows this summer.
Okay,
100%.
so what
I'm
do
still always doing live shows, like live streams as well, though.
fantastic? So what do we have to do as fans to get these guys to go? Hey, we want her out here. What do we need to do?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Like maybe tag me and their like posts, I guess.
Well, then we're going to do everything we can to make sure you're down here to perform because we need great songs like what you have out there. Before we wrap this up, like I said, it's been a tough 2, 3 years, and people are slowly coming out of it. What advice can you give folks out there who are just itching to get out there? But like I said, anything can change. We could be going, hey, and then somehow, guess what? There's a new virus, and it's like, don't lock us
Yeah.
up again. What advice can you give? Because, like I said, the future is open, but anything can happen.
Just to try to stay positive, keep trucking along. I don't know. It's been tough on everybody, this whole like lockdown, not lockdown, lockdown again. So just try to keep doing the things that you love.
And one of the things that we do love is listening to your music and hearing you perform. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for this interview. Looking forward to hopefully at some point, maybe in 2022, doing this in person. But
Yeah.
either way, the fact that we can get your music, I think, is so important. Thank you again so much for the interview, and congratulations on the new single.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure, Rudy. Thank you so much for having me.